What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to The Good, the Bad and the Stupid. It's Wednesday the 11th of December. It's the day before voting day. It's exciting. Do you know which way you're going to go yet? A lot of people don't for some reason. A lot of people are still apparently on the fence, not knowing which way or which way to go. So it seems that the battle buses of both Labour, well, all of them, but Labour and the main ones, Labour and Conservatives, they're going all around the country today to go to the towns where they're swinger towns or whatever. Not swingers in that respect. I'm sure they're very respectful towns. They might have a swingers club, but it's not what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to say that they're going to speak to the swing voters to find out if they can sway them one way or the other. Jeremy Corbyn has gone to Middlesbrough, and the first thing he said to them in Middlesbrough was, "I've not come here to hide in a fridge." And if you don't know what that means, if it's a cryptic message for you, it's because Boris Johnson was meant to have an interview with Piers Morgan on the Good Morning TV or whatever it's called, and he went and hid in a fridge and waited for it all to disappear before he came back out. So he must have been freezing in there, you know, freezing his little scared knackers off in the little fridge, in the big fridge, so to say. But that's made more headlines than him. That's made him more negative headlines than actually doing the fucking interview. I don't get it sometimes. Politicians just come across as really thick, considering, you know, that they're not meant to be, and they're meant to be running the country. And it's the same goes for what's he called? There's a guy from Labour, Chris Ashworth, who is quite high up in Labour, and he's came out, or he's chatting to some guy who's apparently his friend, dissing Jeremy Corbyn left, right, and centre. He's passed it off as banter because his friend, his so-called friend, went straight to the press with everything that he said. So he recorded the message. I think he's recorded it, and took it to the press. And he said, "I think it was my duty to tell, after some of the things that he said to me, I thought it was my duty to tell the nation." So yeah, he's fucking right off the Christmas card list, isn't he? I mean, that ain't no friend. The fact that he was recording the call in the first place shows what his intentions was in the first place. But, you know, he hasn't covered himself with any glory, Chris Ashworth. It might have been banter. I've not read it all, but he did say some things that to come across as if they were sincere digs at Jeremy Corbyn, like how, you know, saying that people are not buying into him or don't particularly like him or whatever. Well, there's plenty of people that do, so, you know, you're just dissing him from one side of the argument, aren't you? But anyway, there you go. Made yourself look pretty stupid there. Again, you're doing that on the day before voting day. Keep your fucking mouth shut and watch who you speak to. That's pretty much the... We live in a day and age where everything can get recorded. I remember when we were 30 years ago or 40 years ago, when we were teenagers, you could buy little devices from the Army and Navy store which you could bug people with. Even then, anybody could buy them. But now you've got phones, you've got that, what I've just said, and you've got phones, and you've got any kind of... and the technology's way, way above. You can't say nothing. But it doesn't help that you've got a friend who's your parent friend who's recorded you and fucking put it out there in the press and, you know, pretty much called you no friend of his, basically. So there you go, you live and learn. Anyway, Storm, Brendan, I went out last night and literally got blown all over the show. I was like a pinball wizard, you know, when you're bouncing around the thing. I was trying to get to a place and it's near the seafront, and the wind coming up the alleyways. Every time I walked past, I was blown back off my feet, and it was pretty horrendous. And there's pictures of some planes taking off, or trying to take off and trying to land in that. I would have been... I'm not a great flyer anyway, but I would have been beside myself. I'll say that if I was on a plane that was swaying left, right, and centre as you're coming into land. It's no fun coming into land in winter time in England anyway. When I was landing from Budapest a few weeks ago, when you're coming into land, you're landing. It's grey all the way down. Especially it was raining. It was pissing down at the time as well, and it was raining. It was grey all the way down, and you can't see the ground. You can't see where the you can't give yourself any kind of getting ready for the landing. As soon as like we came out of the grey cloud at the bottom, we hit the deck. We landed almost there and then, so it was almost like a crash landing. It wasn't, but the pilots knew what they were doing. But when you're looking out the window, you're like, shit, get ready, sort of kind of thing. But I survived. I'm still here, so that's good. And so there wasn't any big reports of any kind of major incidents, I don't think, so that was good. Apart from my £10 that I was chasing around the streets, which I mentioned yesterday. £10 flying up and down the street I was. Caught it in the end, but I'll certainly not get my money out so quickly in a storm again in the future. Banksy. Oh, the Banksy's been defaced already. Only in Birmingham. Not only in Birmingham, that'll happen anywhere, but there are some idiots in Birmingham. But saying that, I mean, they didn't do a bad job, to be fair, because they defaced it by putting red noses on the reindeer. And but it was a guy in a hoodie who come up and sprayed red noses on the reindeer and then ran off. But they actually don't look that bad. And maybe it was Banksy coming back to do it, to put the red noses on, because they look like they should be on there. Anyway, they've been removed again, I think, and a glass perspex. They're putting glass perspex around it now. So, as they said in the paper, the irony that the council are normally scrubbing graffiti off all around the town, and then Banksy puts ones up, and then they put a big perspex box all the way around it, and sort of to protect it, because that's going to be money. That's money to somebody, whoever owns that wall that he's put it on. And the homeless guy was staged as part. I saw the video. There's a video of the mural as a homeless guy sits on the bench and whatever. It's really clever. It's quite poignant. That's one thing I say about Banksy is they're all like fucking right on point, or they hit the nail on the head every kind of piece of work. So, as a message, and it's fucking loud and clear, every one of them. So good on him, or them. We don't know. Is it a he? Is it a them? Here's something that's not on point, that should be avoided at all costs, are the Crimbos, or maybe not, maybe you should get them as a joke present for somebody at Christmas. Crimbos' weirdest Christmas albums. Music fans have listed their Christmas top 10 of the worst ever festive album covers. And I imagine the worst ever album songs. One of them's got a cross-eyed kid on it, and he's called "All I Want for Christmas Is My Two Front Teeth." He's got wonky. He's got wonky teeth. He's got a big gap in the middle, but his eyes are cross-eyed, so he looks fucking weird. I hope that's not like anything serious. He doesn't look like it. I think he's just fucking looking at a piece of mistletoe on a present. Get myself out of that one. And another guy is called Switched On Santa. There's a guy, Santa, who's talking to people on the radio, whatever that is. Another one is Chabello. I don't know what the fuck that one is. It just looks... I'll show you a picture. I'll show a picture to the video version in a minute. I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas is another one. And by Gayla Peavy. Another one is called William Hung. Hung for the Holidays. It's not what you think. I'm not talking about the Swingers again. I don't know. It might be. I don't know what the songs are. I've not listened to it. But he looks like a Chinese kid. His name's Hung. William Hung, the Chinese version of the name. And he's saying Hung for the Holidays. So another one is called... I can't think what that one's called. Well, I'm going to leave it. Another one's called Jingle Cats. There you go. Let's have a look at them. You'll have to come and watch the video if you want to see these podcast people. I'm showing the album covers and they look ridiculous. Look, they look terrible. There you go. There's plenty more out this week, this year as well. So, Robbie Williams always got an album out or a calendar. Who else? People like the fucking Grumbleweeds or the Wombles, whatever. There's always shit albums out over Christmas. Millions of Britons are ditching the traditional Christmas dinner, with nearly a quarter of them preferring a curry. Research suggests 11.5 million have gone off turkey and all the trimmings on Xmas Day. A curry was the top replacement, followed by steak, pizza, pasta, a Chinese and fish and chips. The only problem with those things is that nobody's open on Christmas Day. I'm saying that's some of the Indian restaurants might be open if they fucking take advantage of it. If it's the curries, that'd be quite a fucking good idea. That would, ordering a curry for Christmas. It'd cost you a bit though, because if there's like 20 people round, that's 20 people ordering it, and they're not bound to get something wrong. Someone will be going, "Where's my rice?" or "Where's mine?" There'll be somebody they've missed off. That's what happens with the large orders. There always gets fucking something cocked up. But a curry for Christmas, I could go for that. I made the Christmas dinner last year, and I made hard work. It was almost like, I enjoyed it, but I don't think I'd rush to do it again. Let's put it that way. Ordering a curry. That's new age. Wine plums. Yeah, it is something to get somebody for Christmas. This is accidental, I think, but this is only make it into the sun, wouldn't it? And Mum was stunned to find a wine gum in a pack of wine gums shaped, because I know you can get ones like these for real, but they're in like sex shops or whatever. She found a wine gum shaped like a fella's meat and 2 veg. There you go, and it's a black one. I'm going to show it to the video. See, it's black, and it's quite big, and it's got 2 big round ones and 1 big long one. So there you go. I've described it to the podcast. I bet she ate it as well. She's got it in her hand there. Actually, it is quite big. Check it out in her hand. It's like fucking massive. But if you haven't, if you can't get them, I'm sure you can get them from sex type shops or whatever. Anyway, not that I frequent them very often, but the joke shops, you know, joke present shops. So, but if they haven't, there's a fucking good business idea there. Wine gum shaped like body parts. I did see something the other day that was a frisbee that was a tit. It was like a breast, you know what I mean, like with a nipple and everything on it, and it was like a frisbee, just fucking random like that. This stuff sells, you know what I mean, but I could come up with loads of those ideas, but how do you ever get them made? Can you imagine like having like sitting in a warehouse surrounded by millions of boxes of like frisbee tits? You're like, you gotta hope you sell them, because otherwise you're stuck with them, ain't you? Only a bit like that would go down as one of the worst business moves in fucking history. Where are we going? Diners have given the Hotel Eatery by Gary Neville and Ryan Giggs a kicking for screening football on giant TVs. So they're opening a hotel where suites cost up to £1,750 a night, and then they put loads of big TVs playing sports in the restaurants where people are eating. So you can't buy class. I mean, they might have all the fucking money in the world, but they ain't. They're really clueless. I'm sure their last venture closed down, so this one probably ain't far behind it. It looks like, I've seen there's a picture there. I can't be able to show this one to the camera because it's too small. But it looks like, you know, in the service station on the motorway, and you got the big TV screens on with the news and everything while you're sitting there eating your McDonald's. It looks a bit like that. So what are you going to do? The footballers at the end of the day, they're not fucking restaurateurs. They're playing at it. 1,750 quid. I wouldn't even fucking stay there for that. I imagine with the food ain't cheap if that's the case. So whoever's eating there, then more for you. Labelling food with the amount of walking needed to burn it off could help Brits scoff fewer calories, experts claimed. It's a good idea. I mean, so they'd probably basically say a packet of crisps would need a 31-minute stroll to burn off a packet of crisps. Is it worth it? That's just good. And some people don't just have one. Some people eat what's it called? A variety pack, the whole in one day. You know, like 8 packs or something in a day. You need to do a marathon to burn that off, if that's the case. Or 16-minute jog. You can halve it by going for a 16-minute jog. It'd make me think. I mean, you can kind of gauge other foods off that packet of crisps, can't you? And realise that, you know, it's a good job I don't eat a lot of crap these days. I eat sort of treats and stuff, but I try and eat the healthier version of the treat. Is it all the kind of things that when you were growing up that you would like cry at if someone was to give it you over like a Mars bar or over the, you know, the sweets that you wanted, and they'd give you like a crap muesli bar or something like that, and you'd like fucking be really pissed off. Be all like, it was all like that. That's the kind of things that I treat myself with. But you know, they're good. You know, like I got jam. This is brilliant jam. Here's a little tip for you. There's some jam in. You know, jam. How many times am I going to say jam? Jam is made of loads of sugar, isn't it? Which in and of itself in the morning or something like that isn't so bad. But fruit and sugar. But there's a French jam. I forget the name of it now. But you can. It's got no sugar in it at all. It just uses sweeteners from the fruit and from orange juice or something like that. And it's strawberry jam, raspberry jam, blackberry jam. It tastes just the same. So there you go. That's my tip for you. So I have that peanut butter. Very nice. Very, it's American, that, isn't it? Peanut butter and Jello sandwiches. I'll tell you what, it took me a long time to find them, but when I found them, now I love it. So some people are going to go, well, that just sounds shit and horrible. So there you go, each to their own. A student was horrified when her Now TV hub gave her the public Wi-Fi Nazi. At first I thought, because the wireless name is Now TV NAZI 5. So Now TV Nazis. That's what it looks like. It says Nazis. At first I thought her name must be Natalie, and they're using the Nat and then 1-5, and that's how they've accidentally come up with it. But her name's Lauren, so it's got nothing to do with Nazi, even close to spelling it to Nazis. So it's just a computerised probably code that's come up, hasn't it? It just happens to spell out Nazis. But anyway, it's had to go onto the list of blacklisted words. So she's got a new one. So there you go. There's a bit of news in the paper, hasn't it? She's got a little 5-minute of fame. I was going to look at then. I was going to look at something. I've lost it. Oh, here's somebody else who's got a 5 minutes of fame. A jilted girlfriend attacked 2 bouncers after drinking 10 pints. She's only pint size as well. She's only short. She's drank 10 pints of lager, vodka shots, and then tried to fight 2 bouncers, and that's after she was given the boot by somebody. Good job he wasn't around, because he would have copped it. He would have fucking copped it himself, wouldn't he, by the looks of it? Maybe that's why she's been jilted. Anyway, she got nicked, and she's reaping the rewards with the £400 fine and whatever else. So there you go. She looks sweet and innocent. Next thing you know, you're getting a fucking uppercut and elbow and whatever else on behalf of another bloke as well. That's not fair, is it? He's dumped her and you're getting a punch in the face. Come on. At least punch him in the face. Go looking for him and do it to him. We don't know what they've split up for. Anyway, let's move on to a Harry Potter book was bought for a penny. I love these stories. I've said them before. I love it's not rags to riches, but I mean, any kind of money made out of nothing is fucking good in my book. A Harry Potter book was bought for a penny on Amazon, and it was signed by J.K. Rowling, and it's going to sell for up to £2,500. So don't go rush into Amazon, because this was accidentally sold, I guess. Nobody noticed the signature inside, and the guy who bought it didn't know it was either. That's why he got it for a penny. So when he's looked inside, unless he's forged the signature, unless he's fucking great at forging signatures, because that is like almost a golden goose, isn't it? A golden egg. If you can forge people's signatures, and you really, you only need to do it a couple of times, you fucking quids in it. Yeah, £2,500 for a J.K. Rowling signature. Get practicing. There's another tip for you. Not just peanut butter sandwiches. J.K. Rowling signatures. Right, a businessman wants to turn a public toilet into an Airbnb accommodation has taken his fight to the government. He's up there with my shit business ideas, with my tip frisbee, although that wasn't my idea, that's somebody else who's actually already invented. Oh, what else was there down there at that? I'm sure there was like, what the fuck was it? It was like a spatula, you know, like a thing that a spatula that you deep fry up with, but it was like a penis on this end, like a black penis. And there was another one that was like a I like the ones that are like the dishwash, you know, like the scrubbing brushes like that. And it's a guy with an afro was one, and another one was somebody with a woman. There's a woman one who looks like 70s woman, flares with a big hairdo, and the other one's a black guy with glasses on and a big afro, and you clean your dishes with that. Brilliant. Anyway, he wants to turn the toilet into an Airbnb. Obviously, he's going to do it out and they're closed toilets, aren't they? People do them. I've seen them. I've seen people turn them into cafes and everything. They're just a block, toilet block. You rip it all out. It could be. I mean, obviously, it's not a good selling point telling people that it used to be a toilet. But at the same time, if nobody knows, it's just a fucking building, isn't it? At the end of the day. You've got those buildings in one of Hull. I've not been to Hull, but Hull apparently are tourists visit their Victorian toilets that still are toilets to visit them and take photos, and they've all got like all beautiful Victorian tiles and everything, tiles and all that kind of stuff inside. They said coach loads and everything pull up, and I thought that just sounds like a toilet break to me, doesn't it? Are they actually pulling up to see the toilets, or are they actually dying for a piss? Swingers are being. I'm going to finish up on two more things. Then swingers are being promised the 12 lays of Christmas at clubs. Manchester's Cupids and Club Sex in Blackpool are among venues holding rude parties. Punters are told, time to see if Santa brings you all the naughty girls and boys what you deserve. There you go. If you're into that sort of thing. Maybe in Hull as well, you can go and find them. Forget the toilets, go straight to the Swingers Club. It looks like they got it in there. Got it going on. 12 lays of Christmas and a partridge in the pear tree. And I'm going to finish up on this one. Maybe I should have finished up on that one, but a shoplifter's tan has been mocked after cops shared her mugshot online. It's almost not worth doing these petty crimes anymore, or these burglaries and that. If the cops get hold of you, I love it when they fucking stick them up on the internet and everyone takes the piss out of them. I've said it before. It's like an online version of throwing Swedes and turnips and tomatoes and that at somebody in the stocks, because everyone's just took the piss out of her, and she's got like someone said she looks like she's been stealing St. Moritz, which is a fake tan. She's proper orange. She looks like an Oompa Loompa. That's what they're calling her. And did she have sunglasses on when she went for her spray tan, because she's got white eyes? And somebody else said she's been tangoed. So there you go. If you're going to get out there and do the crime, don't forget you're going to pay with your embarrassment when people take the piss out of your face when you're on the internet. So enjoy that. Don't get nicking Christmas presents, because you're going to get it even worse. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. See you again tomorrow. Bye.